It's a two-way street.
Yeah.
The customers need to have the faith in the black business people. Black business people have to perform.
Absolutely. You have to come up to the level of standards in this country. And that's what we're dealing with. Mediocrity won't work. It has to be a high level of performance.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Black Excellence Daily. I'm your host, Sean Croxton. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've got the late Don Barden on the show today. If you've never heard of Don, he is the first black casino owner. He was the founder of Barden Cablevision, and he had a net worth of well over $100 million. And I wanted to play this interview is what it actually is, because we need more exposure to successful entrepreneurs. There's this guy named Gene Landrum. He's one of the co-founders of Chuck E. Cheese, and he writes these books about highly successful people. And these successful people are usually entrepreneurs. And one commonality amongst most of them, I want to say maybe 90% of them, is they had early exposure to entrepreneurs. Usually one of their parents was an entrepreneur. They made their own money. And so these exposures, they lay down tracks in the subconscious mind, in the brain, and you get to see that possibility. You get to see like, oh, I can go out there and actually make my own money providing a service to the marketplace. And so exposure to entrepreneurs is so important, especially when it comes to hearing their stories and what they've been through. And what they went through when they were confronted by obstacles, when they got turned down for loans, when they had to deal with overt racism, when they wanted to quit, but they didn't. And you go, okay, if they can do it, then I can do it. And the thing about Don is Don in his heyday, we're talking about the 1950s, 60s, and 70s when racism was very overt. But what I appreciate about Don is that even though the racism was so overt, he kept plowing forward. He dealt with the obstacles over and over and over again, built two huge businesses, and again, was worth over $100 million. If he can do it, you can do it. Don Barden's coming up.
Let's start off first how you got into the business world, what prompted you to become an entrepreneur, and how you got your start.
Actually, I started at a very young age in the front yard of my parents' home, actually selling vegetables on a vegetable stand. Vegetables we had grown in our backyard to help supplement the family income. So, and in addition to that, I in junior high school drove a tractor to school, plowed gardens on the way after football and basketball practice on the way home.
Did you do this out of perceived necessity, or did you have that entrepreneurial spirit even back then?
I think it was a combination of both. I wanted to have some money in my pocket to buy some of the things I wanted, and I also did not want to be a burden on my parents because they had their hands full trying to raise 13 children, and there were 13 of us, and I was number 9, so I wanted to make a contribution, and I've always enjoyed work. I view work as pleasure.
So now, when did you professionally decide I'm going to go into business for myself, and how did that whole thing come about?
I would say it started during the summers, the summer right after high school. I worked in a machine shop and was paid $50 a week. My hands were greasy and dirty, and I decided that I did not want to work with my muscles, with my hands, with my body, but more with my mind. And so therefore I went off to college after high school and decided that I did not want to be the guy in the machine shop rebuilding starters and generators and that sort of thing. I wanted to be the owner of the business at the front counter, taking the money in and having people work for me, doing the hard work, if you will.
First of all, what college did you go to?
Central State.
Great, okay, in Ohio there.
Yes.
You certainly had foresight. A lot of people eventually come to that, but they don't start out saying, you know, I don't want to be the guy doing the work. I want to hire people. You must have had parents who instilled that in you, or just that special something?
I don't know. I think it's a blessing, frankly. And in addition to that, I decided at a young age I think I was probably in the neighborhood of 21, 22, that I was going to try to make it on my own, in my own business. I figured that if I would go to work at a factory or something, I would be trapped because I would incur debt, buy a home, buy a car, like most people do, and then they can never actually get into business because you have too many bills, personal bills, survival bills, I call them. So I decided to instead to work to try until I was 30 to make it on my own. So I tried a series of businesses, and starting out with a record shop, and moved progressively from there, one step at a time, learning along the way about business and doing a lot of reading and listening from other experienced people. And finally, about my late 20s, I began to realize that I could make it on my own, and I decided to stay in business. And I've been in business and self-employed for 25 years, starting with one person, making a maximum salary of $12,000 a year. And now, 1991, we had revenue of $91 million and 325 employees.
Fantastic. What do you say to the young person or old person who wants to become an entrepreneur and have a business of their own?
Well, right now I call it preparation, and the best preparation and the most successful path to achieving your own business is proper education in your chosen field. And if not defined right now, then try to get a basic education in some kind of specialized field, because the world has changed and things are not like they used to be. So you have to have some kind of trade or special skill or discipline in order to succeed, because we're in a totally different economy in America than we were when I started out.
To what extent did and does your being an African-American man come into the picture in terms of the opportunities you had to start up businesses, to succeed in businesses, and where you are right now?
Well, I think it's a mixed blessing. In some cases, it has helped me, and in other cases, it's been a burden or a barrier. It's created unnecessary barriers for me. You're not part of the buddy system. You are stereotyped as being inferior with respect to your business acumen. So I have always tried to work around that, and I've not let that hold me back. And it has caused me to work harder in some cases and to be better than the other guy. But whatever it took, I was willing to make that sacrifice to demonstrate that I could excel as well as anyone else in any given field.
You also say it helped you. How so?
Well, it helped me because people were quite amazed that a quote-unquote black person could achieve this. So you got additional accolades because you achieved something that may be ordinary in the majority community, but is perceived as exceptional on the part of a minority. So that perception, of course, is beneficial in some cases, but that's all balanced out with the detriment it causes in other cases, because there are many occasions I can cite historically in my career where had I been white, I would have moved along faster. I would have gotten loans in much larger sums and been able to expand. There wouldn't have been the shadow of doubt cast over proposals or propositions that I was making. In other words, I had to over and over again prove myself. But that did not bother me. It did not stop me. It just encouraged me and inspired me to continue on.
From what I've heard, too, from other black entrepreneurs, there's that same type of attitude that comes from the black community. Unfortunately, many African Americans don't have the faith in their own business people in many instances.
Well, yeah, part of that is a stereotyping created by the majority community, and in some cases by our own people. And in many cases, blacks we are our own worst enemies. We don't patronize one another. We don't give the same opportunity that we would give others. Yet, I think we're super critical in some cases. And on the other hand, some of it's justified. Some people don't realize that you have to measure up to a high level of standard, regardless of what color you are. And I don't think you should be given credit unless credit is due. So that's based on performance. So blacks have to perform up to a high level of standards, and then I don't think we would be subjected to criticism. That's not the case in all cases.
It's a two-way street. The
Yeah.
customers need to have the faith in the black business people. Black business people have to perform.
Absolutely. You have to come up to the level of standards in this country, and that's what we're dealing with. Mediocrity won't work. It has to be a high level of performance.
That was Don Barden. You can check out today's talk on YouTube. It is called Black Enterprise 100 American Black Journal. Hey, if you missed yesterday's episode, I announced the opening of enrollment for my book club community. You can get signed up at qodbookclub.com. We get started on Wednesday, August 6th. We meet every Wednesday evening on Zoom. There are 2 calls, an East Coast friendly call and a West Coast friendly call. Again, you can learn more about that at qodbookclub.com. The featured book for the next 6 weeks is going to be The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John C. Maxwell, which I think is the perfect book for you to start off your book club journey. So get started. It's $29 a month. You can cancel anytime. 7 pages of reading a day. Anybody can do that. And you also get to be a part of a community of like-minded people who are going to support you along your journey. So last time, qodbookclub.com. I'll see you there. All right, enjoy the rest of your day. We got Tiffany Alashay on the show tomorrow, giving you some personal finance tips. I'll see you then. Peace.